All right, so once again, got ahead of myself. Didn't really film much. I've been working at it for at least 4 days, maybe 5, but they're kind of sparsed out along the course of 2 weeks. So I'm not filming as I'm working. I'd just like to film little updates to show, and if I get a little bit of interest or if people have questions, I can film specific things. But it's really just like normal. There's nothing magical going on here. It's just me in my shop here cutting steel and welding it together, and it's more the outcome I would like to show. So I'll go over a few things that I've done so far. So I'll start back here with the hydraulic pump. They have a special kind of hydraulic pump that has 4 pistons on a cam. The PTO needs to be running for this to go. Hey, buddy. PTO needs to be running for this pump to pump. So I have another parts tractor. I was able to make a pump out of the 2. There's I guess there's springs inside of those little pistons. They must have been broken, wasn't pumping properly. The other one was fine. So I kept the main body and put the valves on it, and we have a good working pump right now. That's done. I installed a new seat. So if any of you guys know the seating position of these old tractors, the C's, B's, CA's, WD, anyways, most of those tractors, the seating position is terrible. You kind of feel like you're in a race car. The steering wheel is super close to a steel seat. You're seated further back and very low to the ground. So I'm kind of positioned up higher, good suspension seat, should make it a lot more comfortable. Further forward, I'll have a better view on what's going on up here. So I did that. The tank is off for repair. They seem to all leak somewhere around here. They crack, so I fixed that. I'll wait till I install it because I have some hydraulic hoses and stuff. Here, I removed basically the post that was holding the steering wheel. I removed the battery, and I removed all of those kind of like wires that you got to pull on to start, to choke, to for the throttle. So what I wanted to do was remove all of this, make this as clean as possible in the center, and everything is landed up in this area, which I'll show in a second. So I have this steering column that is adjustable. Not that many people are going to be needing it. It's just to get in and off of these tractors, since you have to lift your leg above this transmission here, and there's a shifter in the middle. It makes it so much easier if you can just get this out of the way and get off, because I have to get off of this relatively often because the weeding units need adjustment throughout the year as the garlic or whatever crop you have grows larger and the conditions are drier or muddier or whatever. You need to adjust that on the fly. So it'll be really handy to be able to just lift this up. And also, this is my orbital valve for the steering. So if people want to do conversions, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work yet, but I can make a separate video on it explaining it a bit more. But on Amazon, you have these little valves here. They're at about $250 maybe, and you have this steering column, which I was going to make originally. This is $150. It was quite pricey, but it has the exact splines that go inside of this. It has its 2 bearings. You just mount your steering wheel to it. Very simple for the price. It saved me a lot of time. So this is a unit that's very easy to adapt on about any tractor. Now, this had no original power steering, so I need hydraulics for it. I don't like the fact that the PTO needs to be on to run the hydraulics on this thing, because you'd have to start the tractor, and then if you don't turn the PTO on, you have no steering, kind of a bit of an issue. So what I'm going to do here, this is where the alternator was. I'm going to put a power steering pump from some kind of GM pickup or something, just a generic V-belt power steering pump that's going to come here. Pressure and return line come in here, and then I have the 2 lines that are going to go to this cylinder right here. I don't know, this basically comes from a Case 2-wheel drive backhoe. They had them on Amazon for like $115 or something like that. It has the 2 tie rod ends, and I change these on tractors once in a while, and they're like, if you get these from John Deere, they're like $112 for the tie rod end kit. So, and you have the whole cylinder here, 2-way cylinder that goes on. So I just cut some 1/2-inch plate and drilled the right taper that goes in there. So I have not tried this setup yet, but if it works, because those power steering pumps at the junkyard, I've used them for other projects. They're pretty strong. They'll sell them for about $50 at the junkyard. And if it doesn't work, you return it and get another one that does work. So you got about 120, 50, 170, maybe 300 for this kit here, 400, let's say. So it's about 500 bucks plus a couple $100 of hoses. So I don't know. If you have hoses laying around, you can do this for pretty cheap. If you have one of these lying around off an old little forklift or whatever, I think you can do this conversion for pretty cheap. So it's going to have power steering now. Hopefully that works pretty good, because if that works, I have other machines I'd like to put power steering on. So that was the big upgrade right there. So the battery box is down here right now under the floorboards. I redid my brake pedals just to get a nice angle. And also the guy before me, like I was saying, put a disc brake conversion. The leverage that the original pedals gave was not enough. It was, just not enough. So I tripled or quadrupled it now. So I couldn't even push this pedal in to push the master cylinder in, but I can actually push it now with my hand. So I'm hoping I'm going to get some good braking. All right, so let's go look at the console over here. So this is kind of like the operator's view, I guess. What's fun about this tractor is the narrow middle. I'll have good view on my weeding units. So I have a 3-section body valve here. So one's going to be for the front 3-point hitch, well, the mid 3-point hitch that I'm installing right now. I'll go show you in a bit. I've got one for the 3-point hitch in the back. So I'm going to convert this to a regular 3-point hitch. It still has those funky systems that Allis had back in the day. But I've got another tractor I'll get the 3-point arms off of and just make a bracket there and put a few turnbuckles there. I've seen some nice setups online. It's not too complicated to do, so that I can actually use this tractor to do tractor work, because I removed the drawbar hitch tab because it sunk down pretty low where it was grabbing into the crop. Body valve, and then here, so this is just a choke cable that you'd see on, I guess, anything really, lawnmower or skidoo or whatever. So this just pulls the choke lever that was originally over there, made a little bracket down there, so that works nice. This here is throttle control that you would see on little gas engine implements that are self-propelled sometimes, like on those mini excavators or those small tracked wheelbarrows or whatever. And here's the key. Turn it on off. 2 switches for a light, and then 1 switch that's going to be for this screen here. This is just a GPS monitor for the rate of fertilizer. So everything's going to be on the right side, kind of like a modern tractor. Nothing in the middle here, just my pedals for the clutch and the brakes. And if you're wondering how I made it key start, it's kind of a redundant way to do it, because usually what you would do is just get a large solenoid, like an internal solenoid, and just set power here. The thing is with these motors is the positive terminal is very small. It's just a little nub that sticks out. I could have just clipped this in permanently, just maybe tacked it in so there's always contact on this nut, and then put my big relay, which I might do in the future. I just had one of these lying around here. It's a solenoid shutoff valve for a diesel engine. I just hooked it up to the linkage. It's silly, but it works. I'll shield it. And for now, that works, and it gives me key start. If I find a solenoid that's big enough, I didn't have anything lying around that could draw that many amps. So this uses the original system, and if ever this wanted to fail, I can just hop off the tractor and push this by hand to actually start it. So yeah, that gives us key start, which is cool. So the idea is that my girlfriend can get on this, and well, anybody can get on this and start this as a regular tractor. So that's about it for the upgrades, making it a little bit more modern, if you will. So right now, as I was working on this, I was like, hey, I should take time to film. So this is a 2x2 inch square tubing where I would normally bolt all of my tooling for the weeding that goes under here. Finger weeders, torsion bars, side knives, and all of that. I have a video of a few years ago when I had them installed. So that used to be welded permanently on this. So you'd have a 6-foot square tubing that would always be on this tractor wherever you go. So it'd be sticking out, so a little bit wider than the tractor. It'd kind of be silly. I have other things that go underneath this depending on the time of the season, so I'd have to unbolt all of the individual rows. It'd take a couple of hours just to get them back on, adjust them properly to the rows. So instead of doing that, right now I welded this, I took it all off, welded this flat bar here with a tubing that goes through it. And this here is just going to be a quick attach. Well, you get how it works, right? We'll have a pin here, take the pin out and the thing drops out, and then I can just make quick attaches that go on and off. So I'll have this quick attach, and the next one I'm going to make, it's just a square tubing, and it's going to have a 3-point link arms underneath it, and I'll be able to put just regular implements underneath it. So that's the idea. I have this tubing here that serves two purposes. It's going to help, this is 3, it's plated, it's pretty thick, but it's going to help it be sturdy. And also this is going to be a jack shaft. I'm going to have another pipe that goes through this, and the pipe comes out here, and I'm going to have my arms, I'll show it later, it'll be a bit more obvious, but those arms are going to lift whatever implement is under here with a hydraulic cylinder. Other than that, is another view of the steering in the front there. Hopefully that works. The cylinder's not very big, but it's not a very heavy tractor. I don't have a loader or anything on it, so I'm hoping that it's going to be strong enough. If it doesn't do, I'm just going to go to a bigger cylinder and use this on another project. That's no big deal. I just thought this was really cool because it actually came with a tie rod ends on it and everything. So for 115 bucks, I can't go wrong. I'll put it in the parts bin, and I'll use it for something else. So that's about it for now. I'll try and give you guys an update maybe before I paint the whole thing. I think I'm going to paint it. Give an update before paint and after paint, and then this summer when we use it.